Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. And I don't know what kind of news I'm bringing you today. It's down to opinion, whether it's good news or bad news that I bring. You be the judge. I think it is good news. The Nigel Benn Sakio Bika rematch is off. That's right, you heard it. Nigel Benn versus Sakio Bika is off. And I'll just get straight into the article. Nigel Benn's comeback fight is off due to a shoulder injury. Okay, so Britain's former middleweight and what the hell is going on? Sorry about that. Britain's former middleweight and former super middleweight champion Nigel Benn's fight is off because of a shoulder injury. The 55-year-old announced his return last month against Cameroon's Sakio Bika. Of course, we know Sakio Bika now lives in Australia. But that fight is now off. Sakio Bika, age 40, of course. And let's get straight into Nigel Benn's announcement, his official announcement. Okay, and he states, "It is with a heavy heart that I say that I had to make the very hard decision today to hang up my boxing gloves." So writing on his Instagram, Nigel added, "I'd like to thank you all for supporting me throughout my career, but the time is up for me. I thank you all for giving me an unbelievable time." Ben, standing alongside his son. Where is his son? Just seen him. Let's get the pictures in sync. There he is. Ben, standing alongside his son, Connor, who is also a boxer, explained how he had 2 cortisone injections in both of his shoulders before a sparring session. "I had to call it quits today. I wanted a hard spar, but it just wasn't happening," said Ben. "My shoulder started playing up, and I could not throw a right hand at all. Today's the day I hand over the baton to my son Connor, who's going to carry on the name. But with me, it comes to an end." And we have his official Instagram post is there. Yeah. I kind of want to say it's unfortunate news, but of course it's not unfortunate news. It's really good news. That that's a good picture. I should have saved that for later. It's Christopher Eubank Jr. in the building. It's kind of good to see those guys together, actually. And I wonder how old this picture is. That's Nigel with Sakio. What does this say? Video, Nigel Benn talks to Australia, Aussie boxing. An exclusive Oz boxing sat down with 2-time world champion Nigel Benn, aka the Dark Destroyer. Nigel is currently in Australia, studying coaching and sports development. Oh, I didn't know he was going to college in Australia. Who's this? That's Nigel with, what's this? Lucas Brown. This fellow's Lucas Brown. Nigel Benn to train Lucas Brown. Did that ever come off? Damn, I find all kinds of things here. All kinds. Okay, let me not digress or get sidetracked. Okay, let me continue with this article over here. The British Boxing Board of Control opposed the contest, which was instead sanctioned by the rival British and Irish Boxing Authority, BIBA. And their vice president, Gianluca Di Caro, told BBC Sport, "My heart goes out to Nigel, as well as all the boxers scheduled to box on the event. I applaud Nigel's good sense not to go ahead with the fight when carrying an injury, but I now need to focus on the other fighters that were on the card." Di Caro said he had spoken to the fighters on the undercard in an attempt to save the show, albeit with a different headline fight. Former IBF welterweight world champion Joshua Clottey is to face the WBF European and International champion Tommy Jacobs, and it is hoped to make that a title bout. Clottey, I haven't heard from Clottey in many a year. Damn. Many a year. Clottey still knocking about, is it? Clottey still knocking about. Ben, I think, is that making his retirement? Was that his retirement speech? Okay. Right. So, why does Connor remind me of Norman Wisdom in this shot? He's like, "No, Mr. Grimstad, no." No disrespect, Connor. No disrespect at all. You just remind me of Norman Wisdom in that shot. Anyway, so Ben, whose last fight was a defeat by Irishman Steve Collins in Manchester for the WBO super middleweight title 23 years ago, passed all of Bieber's medical tests. Bika held the WBC World Super Middleweight title as recently as 2014 and last fought in 2017. That's the end of that article. So, my assessment is this was a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise that Nigel somehow didn't end up getting in the ring 23 years after his retirement. 23 years. That's a long, long time. Can't fault his conditioning. Back in the dizzy. Damn, 23 years. It's like it's a hell of a long time, my friend. It's a hell of a long time. And whilst his fitness was never in question, it's not just about fitness, it's about reflexes. He failed the fitness test with flying colors. But what about the reflexes, my friend? What about the reflexes? And yeah, I recall you showing what the hell? What the hell's this going on here? Anyway, I recall you showing the records, your fitness records from the fitness test. And yeah, your fitness test said that you had the fitness of a fit 25-year-old. Yes. But what about the reflexes? Didn't show any reflexes tests. What about the chin? What about the jaw? I didn't have any jaw tests. You can't just. There's no punch machine that just, you can adjust to hit you with different levels of what is it, PSI? Pounds per square inch or something like that. You don't have no PSI punch test. There's no PSI punch test. That's Fern Britton cozying up to Nigel. Oh, Nigel, I've always liked you, Nigel. I remember you from back when you used to fight. I always had a soft spot. Oh dear. Yeah, Nigel, you did the right thing, mate. You did the right thing. There's Nigel with Anthony Oluwafemi Olansi Joshua. And we finish off with a nice black and white pic. It could have been taken in the 70s. It looks like a 70s picture. Tie's a bit thick though. Yeah, so ultimately it's good news. It's fortunate news. It's fortunate news. I'm glad, Nigel. Even though I was going to buy a ticket to see you, ultimately I'm glad that you, or what was it, Providence? Was it Providence? Is that what it is? When something intervenes and stops something else from happening? Is that what Providence is? I know it's a place in America, but I think Providence is when circumstances conspire to alter one's plans. Perhaps that's one definition. I'm sure there are others. Okay, and there is Tyan Booth in Trimmer Days. Of course, he fought Christopher Eubank Jr. Never actually watched that fight. It popped up in my recommendations the other day. Perhaps I should give that a gander. Okay, so that's the situation. Nigel Benn will not be facing Sakio Bika. How do you feel about that? Have your say. It's Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. It's Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, and I'm out.